I'm sitting here in our little balcony, actually sitting on the floor because for some reason, I think I've said this already, but I feel a lot more comfortable when I'm sitting on the floor talking to my camera. I feel like I'm talking to a friend and not my phone. So for some reason, it works, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. So I'm sitting here on our balcony floor, and it's actually pretty windy. So hopefully the audio doesn't get ruined, but it's really nice to get some fresh air after being indoors all day, just staring at my computer. So I just really wanted to sit out here and kind of vibe for a sec. But I'm really excited to start this video a little earlier because I feel like I've been doing more weekend videos now. But today's Wednesday, and I actually just wanted to show you guys a little bit more of my week. So I'm just gonna show you guys this afternoon and then take you with me all the way to Sunday. Before I actually get into that video of a little recap, I did want to talk about something that is very important to me and something that is a little more vulnerable than anything that I've shared on this channel. Just kidding. I'm pretty good at oversharing. That's the one thing about me. I feel like my dad always told me to just be more private with my things, but I just can't. Like if I sit in the plane with a stranger, I'm going to tell them all about my life, and that's why YouTube works for me, I guess, cuz I honestly have no issue with telling everyone on this platform who I am and what I do and all of that fun stuff. But um did want to talk about something a little more serious this week because I feel like I've had a few friends that have lost someone recently and are currently going through the process of grief. And I feel like in those moments, all I want to do is be there and kind of share the advice that I have learned from my own experience. So that's kind of what I wanted to share today. Just share what I've gone through and how I haven't recovered because there's no such thing as recovering from grief, but more like any things that have helped me go through it. So I lost my mom when I was 8 years old. She fought cancer for 2 years. I think it was three actually. And the reason why I say two is because I was so young that I feel like my parents had more control over what my siblings and I actually saw. And we honestly were so protected, and I'm so grateful for that because I'll never have like the memory of my mom struggling. I will always remember her as the amazing, full of life, very vivid person that she was. And yeah, so I was 8 when she passed, and I always feel like it's never going to get easy to speak about this. And I still speak about it with a lot of pride because any moment I get to talk about my mom, I will take it. And I feel like all of my friends know this about me. Like I mention her in every scenario I can because she lives within me. She lives within my sister and my brother, specifically my sister. Like it's crazy. They're literally twins. And I think my grandma always gets a little creeped out by how identical they are. So, yeah, so she was 38, which is such a young age as well. I think she had just started living, and she was like at that point in her life where she found her passion, which was being an artist. And her art was truly amazing. And it still is because it's still very inspirational to see the type of artwork that she did, and the creativity that she had, I think was unmatched. And I still feel like I can't even think of all the things she could have achieved if she would have been here. But with all that said, my mom's name was Tanya, very special name, and she, sorry guys, she she left a really big mark on the whole world, not just me and my siblings, not just my dad, but every person that met her. She just was out of the ordinary. So she will always live on. And I think I've gone through so many different stages of grief. And maybe that's because when you're 8, you just like don't understand your emotions. It's really hard to understand the absence of your mom. So I think it was very difficult for me to come to terms with it and to process all of that, right? So I think after she passed, every year my friends and I would do like a little celebration on the day that she passed, just to send her like little messages. And all my friends were so sweet. They would come over to my place, we would write little notes and then send them off in balloons. And then I'd say I was very in touch with how I felt. I let myself cry, I let myself feel it. I think the most difficult part of all of that was coming back to Peru, because we were living in Houston where she was getting her cancer treatment, and having everyone see me and my siblings with that puppy face of, oh, you lost your mom. And I think dealing with that was the most difficult part, because I never wanted anyone to see us with any pity. So for anyone who's going through that right now, I know exactly what that feels like. And there's just really nothing that you can do about it, because I think a lot of people don't know what to say or how to act in those scenarios. So yeah, that's the first thing. I feel like just like not letting that be something that upsets you, because you have no control over how people are gonna approach you and react. I think the other thing that really affected me was, and I'm never gonna forget about this, I was in middle school, some time had already passed, and this girl from my grade came up to me, and with the sweetest intentions, she just said, I honestly admire you so much for being such a happy person after everything that you went through. And in that moment, I was just like, should I not be happy? Should I be like the happy person that I am, or should I let that define me? So that was definitely something that still chased me for a while, because I always felt guilty about like moving on. But there's honestly no such thing. Like, I just think about my mom looking down on me and my siblings and thinking like they're really doing everything that I thought they would do. And for me specifically, like moving to Australia, like my mom always knew I was a little bit of an adventurous freak. Like out of all my siblings, she knew that I was the one who wasn't going to live in Peru, who was going to live abroad, who was going to do some crazy things. So, yeah, that's like the biggest thing. Accepting that life happens, and that anger that you feel for how unfair life is just, it's something that will not fade with time but will get better. So, just let time do its thing. I think that's the biggest advice that I can give, because you're never going to fully understand why you were unlucky to lose someone that you loved like that. But at least you'll look back at it with less anger than and more happiness for the time that you actually did have. And the last thing that I wanted to say, because I know I'm rambling a bit, is that a few years back, my I've gone through a few therapists actually. I feel like I've never found the person that understands me. I feel like it's hard to find someone that really understands you and understands your way of thinking. And I feel like my current therapist, like she means a lot to me, because she's truly seen so many sides of me and has helped me go through many different chapters. And the one thing she told me when we first met in our first session was that, because I'm a very visual person, and she told me to picture a big, like just black circle. And that is the void that the person has left behind. And then she told me like that void is never gonna cease to exist. That void will always be there because you lost your mom. And for anyone who's lost a father or a sister or a brother or a friend, that void is something that is just never going to be cured. But then she showed me that you can color around that void with all the colors of the rainbow. And that's life, you know? You learn how to add color to that void and just live around that. And there will always be moments where you fall again and you have to just process all of it and just let yourself cry and let yourself feel these emotions that just like take over your entire body. But I think it's just remembering that the people that we loved and that have left us will always be there. And it's just, they're never going to disappear, you know? And I'm 27 now, and I feel like every year that passes, I'm feeling closer and closer to my mom because I'm just closer to the age where she had us. And I feel like maybe when I'm 38 and I have kids, it's gonna hit me real hard, like knowing what it would have been like to leave my kids behind at that age when they were so little. So I just feel like she's very present. And that's the one thing that you need to hold on to. So just keep adding color to your life because that void will get better. It will never vanish, but it will get better. But that was my little chat about grief. And I'm so sorry I got very emotional in the first 5 minutes of this video. But I promise I will make it fun. And I'm going to show you guys what we end up doing this week and weekend. But actually, tonight, Tiao and I are going to the movies again because Disclosure Day is out. So we're going to go watch that. And also, this weekend, the World Cup starts. So it's going to be really funny navigating the time difference because I think some shows, some games are at like 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. and these crazy times. I know Tiao is going to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to a bar. So Brazil plays on Sunday, 7 a.m. our time. So we will be there. And I'll show you guys what ends up happening because I feel like it's going to be a fun day. But, anyways, thank you guys for listening to my little spiel. And let's see what this week brings. Hey guys, I just got back from Alice's class and it was amazing. A little update, I'm still feeling all those cramps and all that pain. So I've been trying to do like less gym, more slow movement, and this was perfect. If you're in Bondi, definitely head over to her class. She teaches 4 and 5 p.m. on Fridays. And now we're running a bit late, so I stopped by to get some flowers for Val because we're celebrating her tonight. It's her birthday, and we're gonna head over to a little bar. I think it's in the CBD, so it's like a 30-minute commute. So we're running kind of late. Diallo went for a run. I'm gonna shower, and then we're gonna head out. But I feel like this weekend is gonna be a little hectic with all the World Cup games. We already woke up this morning at 5 a.m. and I was so tired I had to take a nap before starting work. So let's see how it goes. Sunday's gonna be a big one, obviously, because Brazil is playing. And I don't know how, but I just need to get a lot of energy for that game. I'm gonna be wearing the Brazil shirt, repping, so very excited. But I'll bring you guys with us today, and then let's see what else we get up to this weekend. Hey guys, my hair is looking a little crazy because I'm sitting outside again and it's windy. But we had a fun morning today. We got locked outside. I was going to the gym and Diao was gonna go to a bar to watch the US game. And then we realized we both left the key inside, which was great. And then we had to spend an hour sitting outside our door waiting for a locksmith to come and get us. So that was definitely not the best start, but now we are getting ready to go try an Indian restaurant in Surrey Hills, which I've heard so much about. Super excited to try it. It's called Don't Tell Auntie. And to be completely honest, I don't think I've ever been to an Indian restaurant before, which is crazy, especially after living in London. Like, the best Indian restaurants are there as well, and I just never tried it. So I'm gonna go today. Very excited to try a new cuisine. And yeah. And then after, we're gonna have a super chill day because tomorrow is the 5 a.m. wake up, going to a bar, drinking all day for Brazil. And that's it. So I'll bring you guys with us, and hopefully, this restaurant is mind blowing.